Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? More GTA 6 news and rumors coming your way. Straight after a video I released yesterday just about some news I've been gathering over the last few weeks about GTA 6, and lo and behold, the day after I release a video, more news and rumors come out. So what we've got going on? That's it. That is the question. So basically, I saw a notification and I read an article from Game Rant, who actually took the source from Reddit, which I'm going to show you now. This is a Reddit post right here. So we might need to say that this is, to be taken with a pinch of salt. But so this guy has two friends who are very reliable and have worked for places such as Kotaku and PC Gamer. They relayed this information to this guy. I also have a very dear friend who works for Rockstar. He won't confirm the details, but he won't deny them either. Normally, if something is not true, he'll flat out deny. But here, he just laughed and said, I can't talk about that stuff, bro. Bro! So, first on the list. The next GTA title has been in development since 2012, which I kind of mentioned before, where that they're likely to be, in development for years and years. I didn't think it would be like a year before GTA 5 launched, which kind of makes sense in a way, because they'll probably at that point pretty much finish GTA 5 or were polishing it, so they could then have maybe other teams start the process on GTA 6, which makes sense. Production didn't actually pick up properly until 2015. That makes sense because you've got to put the story together. Where is it going to be? The location. All the brainstorms and ideas come together, right? So you have to have a few years of that before you actually start producing the game. Even then, it was on ice while the teams focus on Red Dead Redemption 2, which again makes a huge lot of sense. So I can see that being true. Second point is another Rockstar World production, not just one or two studios, but all of them working together. Again, very plausible. Codename is Project Americas, which again makes sense because in the next point you got, which again kind of coincides with the information I put in my previous video, which I put together, was that it's going to be across multiple cities or multiple locations. I kind of predicted maybe Vice City and Liberty City because there's only been kind of one, I think, GTA in Vice City, so it makes sense to incorporate that. And Liberty City, there's been a couple now, been a few, but Vice City and Liberty City kind of makes sense. But you got Vice City, yes, and a fictional location based on Rio de Janeiro, so it's South American. So codename Project Americas makes sense, North and South America. And again, with some linear missions taking place in Liberty City, not an open world. So think Lindendorf in GTA 5. I've also been hearing about Cuba, but I ain't sure. So I don't see Cuba happening. But this is very plausible. Codename Project Americas links with, like I said, North America City, Vice City, South America City, Rio de Janeiro, and then you get a little bit of Liberty City as well. That's not the open world bit, but the open world bit will be Vice City and Rio. Well, the fictional location based on that. Game will balance realism and arcade, so it won't be as realistic as Red Dead 2. Because they went to town on realism on Red Dead 2, so which I don't mind. A balance between realism and arcade if they do that. It's a bit like GTA 5 anyway. But here's a contradiction from the information I put in a video yesterday. There's only going to be one playable protagonist, so it's not going to be the mechanic of switching between 2 or 3, such as GTA 5. It will be male, not female. So that's interesting. I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to a female protagonist in GTA 5. That would have been awesome. You know, you get so many badass female leads now in films. So I think GTA is certainly, I mean, it's surely ready, you know, to have a female lead. Come on, ridiculous. Or at least, you know, have a male and a female lead, you know, 50-50, and then have the mechanic where you switch between both of them. That would be kind of cool. Apparently, it's going to be set in the late. It's set in the 70s and 80s. Great years, the 80s. Born in the 80s, so I'm happy with that. So, the main guy, main protagonist, is going to be an up-and-coming drug lord wannabe named Ricardo. Another key character called Casey is part of the narrative. He starts off as a grunt doing runs as a cocaine smuggler from Vice City to the new large South American area. So that city, you know, based in South America, which is a fictional location based on Rio de Janeiro. Before making connections with big name drug lords and making your way up multiple cities, there will also be a giant prison which will play part in the game. So will there be kind of drug lords in the prison, like, and he's taking, you know, Ricardo, the main guy, is he then connecting with these people and helping them out, or is he breaking them out of prison? What's happening there? Don't know. Apparently, it will also feature a chapter system similar to Red Dead 2. So obviously they had, how many chapters? Level 6 or something like that. So that's quite interesting that they're incorporating that into GTA, potentially into GTA 6. So these are all rumors, but they're very feasible rumors. These aren't just completely out there wacky kind of theories or fan theories. I think these are very plausible ones reading through them. I like this, and again, I touched on it in my video yesterday about the weather, but so weather is heavy focus. So it's going to include hurricanes and floods, etc. How cool is that? Because obviously GTA have never had, you know, they've had, you know, typical weather, rain, sun, you know, but they haven't had like natural disasters. So that'll be an interesting dimension added to the game. Brilliant. I love this next point as well. Buildings change over the eras. Vehicles too. This causes headaches apparently, but they managed to nail a pipeline and get it working. So older, rare classic cars get more expensive as time progresses, etc. Full economy next level. That is amazing. You know, the cities are kind of, they're evolving with the times as well as cars. I wonder whether the characters, I presume the kind of attire people are wearing as well, you know, the clothes of people wearing, that will change with time. I guess that if they're doing the, you know, buildings and cars, you would have thought that they would change people, how people look, if you're, you know, going through, you know, 20 years worth of timeline. So this, I don't know Narcos on Netflix. I've never watched it, but it's apparently heavily inspired by Narcos. Don't know about it. I guess it's a good series. No idea, but obviously linked to drugs. So I might kind of look it up, check it out. Now, you know, this would be interesting if it's you know, apparently inspired by Narcos. I'll give it a watch. They want to have an incredible 70s and 80s soundtrack, but jury's still out on that one. I mean, I'm all for that. 70s and 80s, you know, music, bang on. That would be amazing. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So, a younger Martin Madrazo will make an appearance, as well as father, who was a big drug lord at the time. You do some missions for the Madrazo family involving hits on other gangs. That's interesting. You know, that's going to be, again, an interesting little kind of, again, a little bit of different dimension adding to the story. That's nice. That's pretty good. I like a nat. Drug Empire building is mechanic similar to Vice City Stories, but bigger, much bigger. Think the GTA Online system and dial up to 10. They have it. Wow. Okay. So that's going to have some depth in it, right? I mean, that's going to be kind of a game in itself. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to go out all out on this game. And amazing. So you can only have weapons on your person. No arsenal in your back pocket. Think Red Dead Redemption 2 or Max Payne 3. Okay, so that's probably the more realistic side of the game, which they're putting into GTA 6. Because I did like the concept of, you know, weapon holsters in Red Dead Redemption 2. You could only, obviously on your horse you could have more weapons and supplies, but on you only had a couple of guns you could carry, maybe a pistol as well. So yeah, I like that. I like, because that changes things a bit, because then you got to think about, depending on what mission you're doing, what weapons are you going to take with you? Is it going to be a similar thing to Red Dead Redemption with your horse? Is it can you store stuff in your car? You know, so you can go back to your car and grab weapons from there. Who knows? But that's I kind of like that. Your personal vehicle, similar to GTA 5, but can now change it. Will be like your, okay. I didn't even read this. Sorry. So it'll be like your horse saddle in Red Dead Redemption 2. All your equipment is stored in a trunk, similar to LA Noire. You also store your body armor in the car. If you wear it, it appears no longer just an invisible thing. Yeah. So obviously, if you had armor in GTA 5, you just have armor. It wouldn't change how you looked. So obviously on this one, they're suggesting that when you put armor on, you can physically see the armor. So I've answered my own question there. I didn't read that point earlier, which is very interesting. And I think that's great. So you're going to have your own personal kind of vehicle, which you're primarily going to drive around. And that changes things a bit, where, you know, instead of just nicking any car, which obviously you can still do, but you would be more likely to take your own personal car because it's got all your equipment in. That's pretty cool. I like that. There'll be tons of subtitle reading. Think Max Payne 3 amounts, because characters speak the language they're native to. Very immersive, like watching an episode of Narcos. Whenever you're in the South in South America, don't expect to hear much English. Vice City, however, is a mix of everything, mostly English though. So that, again, I like that. You know, they're keeping true to the regions and the different countries and their native language. I don't mind subtitles, because that makes it more realistic that they're speaking their own language. And again, like this guy says, much more immersive. So liking that. Last bit of narrative info. It will discuss topics such as HIV. So this is, again, touched on this in my video yesterday, where they're going to, which GTA and Rockstar tend to do anyway. They're going to, I'm trying to say, include global issues in the game, and as it's based around the 70s and 80s, HIV makes sense. So they're going to touch on topics such as HIV and the immigration crisis of the time, so in the 70s and 80s. Fictional version of the obviously Castro, that will be cool. So you know maybe a character based on Castro. Sweet. Though I'll be pissed if our protagonist dies from AIDS or some shit. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because obviously, spoiler alert, in Red Dead Redemption 2, god damn it, Arthur dies. It's so sad. What is it, tuberculosis? Oh man, I did not see that coming, and it was, when it was confirmed, oh man, it was horrendous. Because Arthur was such a great character. He dies. Oh, God. Man, that was hard. That was really hard to watch. And yeah, again, confirmation, similar to the news which I put out in my video yesterday. It's only going to be in next-gen consoles, so not on PS4 or Xbox One. Again, makes sense. Game is now their primary focus, along with another title, which I believe has been Bully 2. So this is, again, which I mentioned yesterday. They were potentially saying that Bully 2 was going to come out before GTA 6, but this is now saying that GTA 6 is their primary focus, alongside most likely Bully 2. So I presume, GTA 6 will come out first. Who knows? But again, all ties in quite, similar to the previous information that we've heard. Game is still in pre-alpha, again, obviously. So names, locations, details could and probably will change. So don't expect Ricardo to be the main name of the main guy. I'm sure that's going to change. No ETA release date. So that's it. Yeah, have any questions? Try asking, but I might not have all the answers, sadly. The update, he's added some update 1. Added some additional info. Okay, well, that's fine. Update 2. Please do not mess with me like the harassment or tell me how fake I am. If you think it's fake, that's fine. You do you. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to abuse this guy for just putting information out there, whether it's true or not. Don't hurl abuse at someone just because they put this in. So it's ridiculous. Remove the spoiler. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset. Yeah, that would be interesting to see what that spoiler is. At the very least, expect some form of respect if you doubt you. Exactly. They respect people on you need to, so you get some absolute pricks on the internet, but maybe one of them. But seriously, like, this guy's, whether this is true or not, there's no need to bloody harass the guy. He's just putting some, information on there. I'm kind of believe in this. These are all points which are not so out there that, is unbelievable. These are all plausible kind of points which could be in the game, or explains what the game is likely to be like. Very believable. I think whether he's got a friend that works at Rockstar or whatever, might well do, but I tend to believe this guy. I really do, because it links with, there are some contradictions with earlier leaks, as per my video yesterday, but most of these things here listed confirm those rumors and the news we've had so far. So I'm inclined to kind of believe most of this, whether I'm just being naive or whatever, but it all sounds great. Multiple locations, not just American cities, but one based on, South American city, Rio de Janeiro. I'm really struggling with that. Why am I struggling with it? I don't know. That's sweet. I mean, that's great to add that kind of concept to it. Up and coming drug lord. It sounds a bit like, Scarface-esque. Yeah. Starting out to be, a few drug runs, then, evolving and becoming potentially a massive drug lord himself. So, and it's based in the 70s and 80s. That's all good. The style of 70s and 80s is great. The music of the 70s and 80s is great. So brilliant. Love that. I love the fact that the buildings change and the cars, and potentially, I guess, with the way people look through the ages, through the eras. That's great. Very believable in that. And I love the fact that they're taking bits and pieces, concepts and mechanics from Red Dead Redemption 2 and other games such as Max Payne 3, etc. Where you can only have a limited amount of guns and ammo on your person, and then like Red Dead, instead of the horse, where you've got your saddle and your extra and all your supplies and other guns on your horse, you have a car and it's all in your trunk, or boot as we call it over in the UK. That's great. I love that, because that car is going to be your personal possession. Then, like that horse, you don't want it to die, or in this scenario, get damaged or blow up or whatever, or get destroyed. That's great. Love it. And that language thing, staying true to native languages, very, very plausible. Love the Castro, potentially the Castro character. Yeah, I like it. So I saw this and I thought, after my video yesterday, I had to put this out and just a lot of you people would have already seen this or read this, but if not, if you haven't seen it, then I'm glad to kind of be able to bring this to your eyeballs and your log holes. So yeah, great, it's brilliant. So let me know what you think. Are any of these points, do you think, I'm not sure on that, I don't know if I like that being in the game, or are there any points that, okay, this is going to be great? I even missed the weather. If they have natural disasters in there, great stuff, brilliant, love it. SimCity all over. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let's get a discussion going again on this, so please let me know. Thank you very much for obviously watching. Update on the new channel with my friend Will, from Double Jump Gaming. We will be hopefully starting that in the next couple of week or so. Hopefully actually launching this Sunday. Don't know, potentially. Don't take that for granted as black and white yet. But that's what we're hopefully aiming for. So if you want to go over and subscribe to that, the channel's up. There's just no videos on it yet. Don't feel pressured into doing so. If you want to, if you enjoy our, what we put out on our individual channels, you're probably going to like what we put on the joint channel. That's where we're going to be when that's up and running. So yeah, go check it out. And yeah, if you've enjoyed it, be sure to click that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. And as always, guys, I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.